when you put it that way, holy shit.
Does that make sense?
Oh my fucking.
Well,
like, follow, subscribe to this man
I
because he is going off with the advice right now. A coffee.
You know what I find interesting about all that is these are the small things that
man.
are, I guess, the fact that it's noteworthy is what makes me fascinated because I'm like, this is just a small thing
because
we do.
But that's the thing is that it's the small things I think that people notice more than like.
I see.
With anything I feel like whether you're in a relationship, whether you're. It's a friendship even, like, you know, like your friend brings you a coffee without you asking them. That's something noteworthy, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's so little, but like, you know, you thought of me.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, I'm glad to be part of this part of your day.
Hey, man, thank you, bro. That was my ex-girlfriend I was just sitting with.
Oh, you don't say?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more because that implies she is gorgeous, yes.
That we broke up.
Well, no, the fact that even though you're exes, that you're still hanging out in such a civil capacity.
Well, I haven't seen her in over we broke up 6 months ago. I hadn't seen her, and then, you know, Rewind at Badlands, like the...
Yes.
Okay, so I was there.
Yeah.
And then I was just walking through the crowd, and I saw her. And, I just decided, like, I just said hi and whatever. And it kind of ended on bad terms.
Yeah.
But we should, like, I got this dog when we first started talking. So we dated for 2 years. He's 2 years old.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like it just ended not so well. So I really wanted to just, for mostly my fault. So I wanted to talk to her and kind of apologize.
Yeah.
Let her know, like, I still madly in love with her.
Yeah.
You know? Like, she's like the woman of my dreams.
Yeah.
But I needed to be like a better person for myself to then be a better person for her.
Right.
So that's the journey I'm on right now anyways. But I saw her and I told her that I miss her and like if she ever wants to see Otis that she can.
Yes.
And I'm back since we broke up, I'm now like, I live in Vancouver part-time and I live here, so I don't know. Things are going better for me now that we're broken up.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I don't even know, man. I just know I miss her, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
May I ask some follow-up questions?
Yeah, you can ask questions, man.
What did you learn about yourself in the aftermath that you didn't have access to before?
Sorry, say that again?
What did you learn about yourself in the aftermath of the relationship
that I didn't know before?
That you did not know before.
Learning about myself is that I learned some negative things about myself, but that it was not it was a negative learning situation.
Yeah.
But the thing that I learned about myself is I can be selfish, and I can be very one-minded and not very open to a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I can be like my dad sometimes. Is what I learned. And like, but then I'm not even gonna think of that as like in a negative way. I think that's a very positive thing to, at least for me to be able to see it,
insightful.
So that I can change it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I see that.
I also learned that I wasn't over a lot of other things. Like, I have an ex-girlfriend that passed away, and I don't think I was really over that as much.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, like I learned a lot. I learned a lot from the aftermath, and I learned. This is not so much about me, but I learned that like I really love that woman. I really love that woman.
Yeah.
And I think like I took her for granted.
Yeah.
And then not having her was the biggest
wake-up call.
The biggest wake-up call. Biggest wake-up call. I don't think I could. I don't even think I could ever take her for like, you know what? I couldn't. But I still have some things I need to heal on anyways. Like I even told her today, I was like, listen, like I love you and I will always love you, but I know like I still have a journey to go on, and I don't want to be with anybody right now.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to get back to I don't even want to get back together with you because I don't want to risk the same thing happening. But,
yeah.
At the end of our conversation just now, she was like, because she's she's modeling again, and she's like a legal assistant now, and she's working 3 jobs.
Yeah.
And she was like, out of everything, like out of everything that I'm doing, I still only feel like I want to be a mother. And I was like, yeah, I know. If I had been in the right mind when we were together, me and you would already be married. Like, I would have been. So, you know, I don't know. It's just
it's reflective for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool when we have these moments or opportunities. For example, I have a lot I share in similarity. I can already tell with you, Jared, because I'm not with my ex.
Yeah.
Primarily because I needed to do some growing up for myself.
Yeah.
And sometimes that pathway in our evolution, where we get to be better versions of ourselves, comes at a fairly high cost, where others are affected adversely. So I'm very aware of that element as well too. And while I really appreciate where I'm presently at, and I appreciate immensely the insights and the metamorphosis that has gone on in me, I am also aware of what it costs to get here. 100%. And oftentimes, it seems like the price is too high.
That's exactly.
While I don't regret that I've grown, I'm still aware of the cost.
Yeah.
In ways that there are some things, like I say, I don't want to learn that lesson twice.
No, exactly. And I gotta say, like that.
Yes.
Yeah, like that, I think about that a lot, about how high the cost was.
Absolutely.
For her.
Yeah.
Because that's the part that breaks my heart.
Sure.
It's not the fact that we're not together. Like if we're not together, and like maybe like it was just because it just wasn't working out, or like we're more friends than anything, then that's something that I could deal with.
Absolutely.
Or even if it was like, maybe I just can't deal with my own like failure.
Yeah.
Because even if it was something that she had done, like let's say she had cheated or something.
Sure.
I think that's still something I could have gotten over and forgiven her for, but
Absolutely.
I don't think I can forgive myself because I've, like, in a way, I wasted her time.
Gotcha.
I feel like I was holding her back in ways.
I feel,
And she's so, like, she's such an amazing person. Like, she's beautiful for sure, but even down beneath, like, her beauty is not just skin deep. It's very, like, she's very giving and loving to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I hear you.
While we were dating, I didn't even propose or nothing. I didn't even have to ask her to do any of this.
Yeah.
She gets hit on all the time.
I'm
Anywhere
sure.
she goes. Like,
I'm
she'll
sure.
be walking down the street, the guys will like honk the horn at her, and like all of this.
Yeah.
She would wear a ring, a wedding ring, on
Just
her finger.
to get the point. Yeah.
When they go out, she'd be like, "This is my husband." That's how she introduced me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like very loyal.
Yeah.
Very loyal.
I see that. Let me issue or propose a couple of challenges for you, just in your consideration.
Yeah.
You were saying you would, like, she could do a lot of things that you'd have capacity to overlook because of your love for her.
Yeah.
You're not sure if you do be able to extend that same courtesy to yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe part of the mind shift that I found helpful that you could consider is, until you're ready to do that for yourself, like, I guess the big mind shift there is, as much as you care for this individual, the premise of you caring for her that well that you're drawing for, to say, I love this person so much and I do anything for this person, if it's the same well that you're also drawing on from yourself, that's the beautiful part, where you're actually loving yourself first to be able to have the capacity to give from that same well to this person. But if you're drawing from a different well from yourself, and that's the one where you don't have a lot of good things that you're drawing on for yourself, there is an imbalance in the way that you would treat this person in your
100%,
life. And so perhaps a really helpful shift would be, how can you start also valuing home base to be able to say what you're getting.
You're fucking sick, bro. Sorry.
I appreciate that.
This is a great conversation.
I appreciate it too.
You should start a podcast or something. People should listen to what you have to say.
I'm going to ask you a request, and I want you to be able to say no, because not very many people in this culture have comfortable feeling saying no, and I want to change that. So I actually do share a lot of my experiences with consent with my online audience.
Bro,
if you're open.
Do it.
Okay.
Yes, 100%.
I just want to make sure that is, because this is a very personal thing as well too. You're sharing some personal stuff, and it's not always on offer. Good.
Maybe it goes viral, she sees it.
I appreciate that too.
Yeah, maybe it goes viral and somebody sees it and it helps them too.
Yeah, and it's a gift that we're offering. But again, it's not everyone who has that capacity, and that's why I want to make sure you have access to know. But back to the point though, it's more along the line of saying, when you get to a place where you see yourself as a really important person worthwhile investing in the good ways, especially by way of, like, for me, the biggest thing I had to learn is, how can I be gracious with myself, especially in the reality that I'm a messy human being. For the first, for a long time, I was trying to present competence and well put togetherness in a way that was inhuman, because that's actually unfair to ask from anyone, basically, right? But when I make space for another person, like you were making space for her, saying, you could be a messy human being, and I got all the patience in the world for that,
100%.
but I don't have that for me, then we're being unfair to ourselves. But when we start off with ourselves saying, I'm going to give myself permission to be messy,
Yeah.
because that's at the core who we are. But in my messiness, I want to be a better version of myself, and I'm going to give myself space to grow in that way. When you start giving yourself that courtesy and saying, I can see myself in the mirror and say you're legitimate in the space that you're taking up, you're legitimate in the messiness you have, even as you strive to be better, because you're not staying at this station, like you want to progress.
Oh, 100%.
Then you can start presenting yourself to someone else, like this individual, saying, hey, take me as I am.
Yeah.
I'm messy, but I'm on a path where I'm showing love to me.
100%.
And by extension of me showing love to me, you also get some of that same love.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have this space in this connection, this beautiful connection that you're saying, I didn't have that before, because it's on a reality premise now that you're both figuring it out as you go forward.
Okay.
Potentially.
Yeah, 100%.
Consider that.
Jeez. What was your name?
Binyam.
Sorry?
Binyam.
Binya?
Yeah,
Nice to
Binyam,
meet you,
with an
man.
M on the end.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well,
Binya.
brother.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I like ideas, Jared, because
Yeah.
in ideas there is a capacity. If we find something compelling enough, something convincing enough,
Yeah.
we start shifting the way we live.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We could hear an idea sometimes and say, oh, that sounds nice, but we don't follow through on it. But when something powerful comes and you're like, okay, I want to actually see if this is actually
Yeah.
real now,
Yeah.
and then you start like leaning into it, you start trying to experience it, and then it has the capacity to shift the way that you look at the world, the way you think about yourself
Yeah.
in the world. That's a powerful thing.
100%.
I think it's worthwhile.
100%.
Yeah, so that's why I appreciate these
Definitely opened
conversations.
my eyes to some things, I think, man.
I was at a party last night, a friend's birthday party. I met this guy. Now I'm straight, just so you know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But
Oh, it's right in here, brother.
oh, right here.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
I'll just turn it
yeah,
on again.
100%. Yeah.
But in this conversation with this guy, I said, "Listen, you're a really handsome specimen. You are handsome, but my concern for you is that this is all you're ever given credit for.
Yeah.
People can tell the obvious. You're beautiful to look at, but it's far more challenging to be seen for the things you worked at
Yeah.
in your character."
100%.
To be able to be given credit for those things that go deeper, like you're saying, more than skin. So this individual here, reminiscing over, you had an amazing connection, but you saw past your skin depths, beauty. That's
Yeah.
the introductory part, but there's more.
Yeah.
And I think people really appreciate being seen in that space where you're like,
What's true?
you have far more in you that is worthwhile celebrating, that's worthwhile experiencing, and that's worthwhile like
yeah, you're not
being-
just a face. You're not just like a pretty face.
Absolutely, yeah. So, I think I like that for you, especially as you're like going through your metamorphosis.
Yeah, man, and like I've actually been told the same thing that you told him was
Tell me.
told by me
Yes.
to me by a close friend.
Yeah.
And she's like a well-renowned chef in the city,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
but yeah, she was like, and me and her used to kind of have a thing. This
Yeah.
is like years ago.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, like I honestly like you are beautiful, but like you actually have like I feel like that's just what people see for you. Like they
Yeah.
don't see who you actually are; they just see your beauty. And then,
Sure.
And then I didn't even see that at first. And then after she said it, I started noticing it. Like
Yeah.
I was not never, but like, and not to say I wasn't good looking, but like
Yeah.
I was a bigger boy
Mhm.
most of my life. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Chubby
Yep.
and like didn't really get looked at from
Sure.
girls and stuff like that.
Yep,
And then
yep.
in my early adulthood, when I turned like 17, 18,
Yeah.
I slimmed out. I started looking better,
Yeah.
feeling better. And
Yep.
girls that I knew from high school would come
Yeah.
up to me like, Jared, you look so
Yeah.
good now. And I wouldn't
Yeah.
give them the time of day.
Right.
I wouldn't give them the time of day. It's like you wouldn't talk to me before. What's the
Right.
difference now?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the same sense too. And the question I'm always asking myself internally is, where's the attention being drawn?
Yeah.
And am I okay with this as the investment of this connection?
100%.
Right? It's nice to be noted for the right things.
Yeah,
And that's why, for example, this significant other, this ex of yours, wore a ring.
Yeah.
Why? Because she wanted to discourage the attention that she was getting in a specific
100%,
area
yeah.
for something else that she valued more.
Yeah,
Imagine the people who have this.
Damn, bro. When you put it that way, holy shit.
Does that make sense?
Oh my fucking.
Well, the
Like,
only-
follow, subscribe to this man
I
because he
appreciate-
is going off with the advice right now. Do you have what is? Oh man, my phone might die.
That's okay, man. I should have let you plug it in. Do you have
No, that's okay. That's okay. You didn't know it was gonna die.
That's okay.
What's my phone at? It's at 2%.
2%. Holy crap.
I'm gonna meet my friends here pretty quick.
Okay. If you remember my name, it's a bin full of yams, Binyam, and I'll help you spell my last name as well.
Here, put it in my. I'm actually gonna just turn off my guy. Put
Okay.
it in the notes.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
No, of course, man. We had a great conversation, and
Otis.
if this goes up, I'd like to see if it does good.
Oh, I would love. Here's the beautiful part in this. Oh, let's try that again.
Bunyam?
But it often does that. Binyam. A-S-R-E-S-S. So, oh, let's try that again. S-S. A-S-R-E-S-S. There we go. So that's my handle, but my full name.
Okay, perfect. And that's on like
Hi,
YouTube,
Otis.
Instagram.
Instagram, TikTok, absolutely, yeah. But I want to thank you as well too, Jared, because like this conversation, while you benefited as well, and I did too, but I think it also inspires so many other guys. Imagine other guys who don't have access to this kind of
No, it's true.
conversation.
Honestly, they don't have access to this type of experience.
It's worthwhile.
Yeah, 100%,
it's worthwhile, isn't it?
100%.
So absolutely.
Yeah, man, awesome.
Thank you.
You enjoy the rest of your day.
I will, brother.
Be safe.
I will.
And man, I hope you have the best life.
I appreciate that. I'm enjoying it immensely already.
Man. Good.
Let me grab the drawer for you so that
thank you.
because you have hands full. And shall I grab that again?
Oh,
You're
no,
all
no,
good?
I'm
okay.
good, yeah,
You're
thank
all
you.
set for a time here at the park, aren't you? Goodbye, Otis.
You have a good day.
You too, brother.
See you, Binyam.
See you soon.
Come on, Otis.